think about the last time you found something really cool, like a great restaurant, or maybe a show you binged, or, a service that just made life easier. How did you actually hear about it? Chances are it wasn't some glossy ad, right? It was probably a friend or someone at work, maybe something you saw online from someone you trust. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How do businesses actually manage to connect with us and, well, grow in this super crowded world we live in? So this deep dive, we're looking into two really powerful ways companies do this. They seem different, but maybe they're not that different. We're going to unpack social media's huge role in just getting a brand scene, awareness. And then we'll look at the maybe quieter but persistent power of word of mouth, especially for those big business-to-business decisions. B2B stuff. Okay, let's get into it. We've got some really fascinating source material here looking at how giants like Booking.com and Dropbox use these exact strategies. And boy, did they use them well.
Yeah, and what's so interesting, I think, is that on the surface, they seem worlds apart. You've got the big public splash of social media and then the more sort of personal, direct nature of word of mouth. But underneath, both tap into really fundamental human things. Our need to connect and, this is crucial, trust. Understanding how these work gives us, incredible clues about how businesses really make it big, whatever market they're in.
Okay, so let's start with that big splash. How do companies grab our attention and then scale that? Our sources really dig into social media becoming this, unavoidable force. And Booking.com, they're a perfect case study here. I mean, as a huge online travel agency, they really figured out how to use social media to get their name out there, to reach travelers. Their approach, it seems pretty smart, really. Simple almost. Focus on creating content that's genuinely engaging, but also informative. Content that people actually looking for travel deals or ideas would find useful. Not just ads, but value.
That's exactly it. And they're clever about how they diversify it, too. They don't just stick to one thing. You see them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the mix is key. You get user photos, which feel really authentic. Then you get practical travel tips, stuff you might actually use. And yeah, of course, promotions are in there too. It's like this whole digital world designed to catch you at different points in your, travel planning journey.
Right. And that Booking Epic Stays campaign on Instagram, I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
It wasn't just nice photos. It was these amazing visuals of incredible places to stay, like proper fantasy stuff, almost tree houses, igloos, hotels underwater, stuff that just makes you go, wow.
Yeah, pure escapism.
Exactly. And the impact wasn't just likes. It created huge buzz, thousands of people sharing, commenting, talking about these unique places. So that campaign, it wasn't just fluff. It seriously boosted their brand awareness. It positioned Booking.com as the place for finding something memorable, something different.
And if you dig a bit deeper, you see their smart use of influencer marketing tied into that as well. They actively work with travel bloggers, influencers, people who already have an audience that trusts them.
Oh, right. So it's like getting a recommendation.
Exactly. It lets Booking.com tap into these already engaged communities really efficiently. It's like that word of mouth thing we mentioned, but amplified through these online personalities. So really, the Booking.com story shows how even a massive company can make its huge reach feel kind of personal. They use real user stories, they use trusted influencer voices, turning these broad platforms into effectively millions of tiny relatable recommendations.
Okay, so Booking.com is a great example of using that wide net of social media, going broad. But what about when the decision isn't just about a fun trip, but something more serious, like a big purchase for your business? Our other source looks at this almost hidden power of word of mouth, especially in B2B. It's easy to forget about it now with everything being so digital, but for businesses buying from other businesses, that personal recommendation, that trust factor, it's still massive.
It really is.
And the source explains why it works so well in B2B. It boils down to trust, fundamentally, and credibility. Business buyers, they just rely more on what colleagues, peers, industry experts say than on marketing fluff. They need proof it works in the real world.
That's the core of it, isn't it? That direct experience, hearing from someone who's actually used the service or product, that carries so much more weight. It cuts through the noise. It can overcome doubts in a way that, even the slickest ad just can't. It's like finding that amazing local restaurant because 3 different friends told you you have to go.
Yeah, exactly. And a fantastic example of this in action is Dropbox. When they launched, back in 2008? They didn't have a huge marketing budget.
Nope. Very lean.
Their focus was just laser sharp.
Yeah.
Build a product that was super easy to use and solved a genuine problem people had sharing files easily and reliably.
Seems obvious now, but it wasn't then.
Right. But here's the genius part. They didn't just make a great product. They made it incredibly simple for people to tell others about it. That referral program they had, so simple but so effective. You invite a friend, you both get extra storage space.
Boom. Instant incentive.
Exactly. It wasn't complicated. It just worked.
And the genius there, I think, wasn't just the product. It was understanding that their best marketing, especially early on, wasn't something they could buy. It had to be earned. They literally turned happy users into their sales team. They incentivized actual advocacy.
And the results were just wow.
Totally. By 2010, 2 years in, over 4 million users. And get this, nearly 3 million of those came directly from referrals. It just shows when people love something that solves a problem, they will talk about it if you make it easy. Exponential growth, purely from user satisfaction. So yeah, the Dropbox case, it's powerful proof that word of mouth is this incredibly potent engine for B2B companies. It builds that crucial trust, that credibility, and it drives sales. But it starts with having a really strong product or service, something worth talking about. And then just make it super easy for people to share the love.
Okay, so pulling these two threads together, what does this all mean for, for businesses listening, or just for us trying to understand how things grow? We've seen Booking.com using these huge social networks to get visible, build that emotional connection with consumers dreaming of travel, big reach, visual appeal. Then you have Dropbox tapping into these tighter personal trusted networks, focusing on utility, solving a core problem so well that people just had to recommend it, especially in a business context.
Right. And the common thread, the real takeaway here, is that both strategies, though different on the surface, are fundamentally about leveraging trust, just within different kinds of networks. Booking.com uses the trust implicit in shared visuals and influencer recommendations on broad social platforms. Dropbox leverages the deep trust built on direct experience and personal recommendations within professional circles, that grapevine effect. But ultimately, both prove that genuine connection, solving a real need, and building that trust are absolutely core to business growth. It's not just about shouting the loudest.
So let's recap quickly. We've explored how social media, through engaging content, real user stories, and influencers, can massively amplify brand awareness. Booking.com nailed that. And we've seen how good old-fashioned word of mouth built on trust and credibility can fuel explosive B2B growth, especially with a smart referral system like Dropbox used. These aren't just, separate marketing tricks. They really show how businesses tap into fundamental human behavior, how we connect, how we trust, how we share to succeed, whether it's booking a holiday or choosing software for your company.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about it in your own life. What recommendations really influence your decisions, big or small? And why? Why do you trust those particular sources more than others? It's worth pondering.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.